Hey, 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 everybody. Is it Wednesday? It's Thursday. It's Wednesday. I forget Wednesday every single Wednesday. It's the forgotten day. I am Tunde Oyeneyin, and welcome to the Premier Collectibles live signing. My new book, Speak, dropped yesterday. Speak, find your voice, trust your gut, and get from where you are to where you want to be. My guess is some of you probably received your pre-orders yesterday. And because you're so amazing and wonderful, you're showing support again today. So I'm so excited you're here. We do have a really, really, really awesome, I think, hour in store for us. I know that many of you submitted some questions, and so we'll have a live Q&A. I will also be autographing copies of my book that are available for purchase. There should be a link that you can click into and get your signed copy. How cool that we are signing virtually if you are not able to make it out to one of the live signings during the tour. I was in DC just yesterday, and I got to meet some really, really incredible people. And I'm really honored and excited to meet some of you here virtually. I actually have a very special guest with me today. It's not Beyonce, not this time, maybe book two. Her name is Kimberly Caldwell. Wow. Okay, so I just said her maiden name. Her married name is Kimberly Harvey. Yeah. She's actually one of the essential characters of the book. She's actually joining us today. Is this when you're gonna slide in slowly?
I was waiting for my Beyonce moment.
Yes, cue the fans. This is my best friend. Her name is Kim. She's in the book. She's joining us today. She's going to moderate the Q&A.
I'm moderating. She's putting me to work. I'm also not only just your best friend.
She's also my manager.
I think I'm more your manager at this point than your best friend.
I think the friend title was better than the manager title. Okay, so she's going to, which actually makes me nervous that you're funneling the questions because I feel like half of them she's going to make up, and they're going to be questions that she just wants to embarrass me with. Here on TV today. I wish I could see y'all's faces.
Me too.
Right? Because right now I'm like, somebody DM me on Instagram right now to let me know that there's actually anybody in this room with us.
There's no chat or anything?
There's nothing. Wait, private chat. Let's see.
Ooh, private chat. Let's see that.
Oh, that's not that's why it's called private chat, because nobody's in here but yourself. All right, guys. So I'm going to answer some of your questions. Again, these were questions that were previously submitted. As we do that, I'm going to sign my first book first, and then we'll answer questions.
You should definitely.
This is very QVC moments, and I'm living for it. Fun fact: I used to watch the people on QVC and HSN, and I used to say to myself, I was like, "That's a job. That's what I want to do."
I've been on QVC selling things before.
What were we selling?
I was selling hair color.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. I'm not going to tell you what kind.
And those things start at like 5 a.m. The hair.
Yes, it was a 3 a.m. hit. I was very tired.
Wow.
But anyway, I think your job now as an author is, a lot cooler than a QVC job.
Time to speak. Let's speak, y'all. All right. So again, if you were just joining the stream, live signing, virtual signing happening. If you're not able to make it out to one of the tour sites, you can actually purchase your own live copy with the link that is provided. I think it's premiercollectibles.com/Tunde. All right. So previously submitted questions. Here we go. I'm so nervous. Honestly.
Okay, here we go. This is Amanda. She's from North Carolina. Moyoc,
North Carolina.
That sounds like a dope place.
It sounds like a place I want to visit.
Let's go. North Carolina has the best food too. It really does. Besides Texas, obviously, where we grew up.
You've been in North Carolina?
Yes, I have a few times.
To work?
Yes, to work.
What did you eat that was so good? Is it barbecue?
It was barbecue, which I don't even eat meat anymore, but the barbecue at the time was
because you don't live in North Carolina anymore. If you move back to North Carolina,
if I still lived in Texas, I would absolutely still eat barbecue, or they would kick me out. Okay, back to Amanda.
Okay, Amanda, I'm sorry.
Amanda, North Carolina.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much.
This is fun. This is legit.
I kind of want to hide and make up my own questions. Okay, what would you say to adult women still suffering from the body image issues they've had since childhood, which I think we all have?
We went from pure laughter to such a deep question. Yep. Let me transition. What would I say?
What would you say to women still suffering from the body image issues they've had since childhood? Maybe it was bullying.
I mean, I can only speak for myself. Everyone's journey is their own. It's just that, it's their journey. In the book, I speak to, well, let me rewind and say that SPEAK is an acronym. I looked at 5 words as elements and how they showed up in my life: surrender, power, empathy, authenticity, and knowledge. A lot of the empathy that I speak to in the book is actually not just empathy with others, but empathy for self. I cannot love you fully unless I learn to love myself first. I know that with me, with my story, I had done all the things. I lost the weight. I tried all the diets. And when I finally lost the weight, I felt like, wow, people are befriending me. Everyone's accepting me into their circle. It wasn't until sometime after that I realized I don't know that it was the weight that I've lost that invited me in, or the fact that I finally allowed my true self to be seen. I was hiding who I was. Once I learned how to love me and be okay with me, then everybody else loved me and was okay with me too. And so, to bring it back to your question, Amanda, to bring it back to your question, Amanda, I'd say that know that nobody is being as hard on you about it as you are being on yourself. And once you start to appreciate yourself in your new uniform, the more comfortable you are, and the world gravitates towards you and leans to you for that comfort. And just by doing that, just by doing so, I think there's a layer of acceptance that happens with self. When you allow yourself to be who you are and you see that everyone's okay with that, you lean into a deeper level of self-love. I hope that answers your question. Thanks, Amanda.
You would never believe this, but years ago, Tunde was not proud and confident of her incredible, iconic arms that everybody wants to have. And to this day, it is, one of my favorite physical attributes of hers, and it is celebrated every day. So just know that the things that you don't think are the things you should be celebrating might just be the thing that you should be celebrating now, because later it might be the old thing. How about you just sign some books, because we're here for live signing.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, Kim knows this. I remember when I didn't get the job the first time around at Peloton, true story, I called Kim and I was like, maybe it's because I'm too muscular. Because this was the story that I was like telling myself. And I speak to this in the book, but I think that we all have these artifacts that we collect, this
false narratives
that we create and we tell ourselves. And so every time something doesn't go our way, the guy doesn't like us, the girl doesn't like you, or you don't get the job, or you weren't invited, you go back to these artifacts that you've collected, these things that you tell yourself is the why, or the why not rather. And so body was it for me. And so when I didn't get the job, I didn't get the job because of my body. And so, it wasn't until I stopped believing that lie that I was telling myself on repeat, that I learned to accept myself. And then once I learned to accept myself, I realized that everybody else never had an issue with it. It was just me. It was just me.
Okay.
I gotta sign some more books.
That's for Amanda. That is for Amanda. Okay. Are you ready? We're moving to Kentucky. All right. No, I have just like in passing, but I really want to do the Kentucky Derby.
Really?
Yeah, I just want to wear the big hat, in the outfit. You want to wear the big hat. No, but
she only wants, and that's why I'm saying really, because she's not an adventurous person like this. She will literally she will get the outfit and then not do the thing.
I just want to sit at home.
Like if we were playing tag football or something, she'd be like, yeah, I want to play tag football. Just because she wants to put the thing in her waist and put the lines on her face, but doesn't actually want to play.
I'd rather be the ref. I'm sitting in like a chair.
The ref works too.
No, just sits there. Okay. Are you ready for Mary Beth?
Hey, Mary Beth.
Mary Beth is here with us, and she is from Kentucky. And I love the accents in Kentucky. If you're having a bad day, what is the one thing you do or tell yourself to turn things around, Tunde? Yay, Tunde.
You want to say my government name in front of all
Yay,
my friends?
Tunde, Audimal. I don't know. She, by the way, she has 45 middle names.
22 years of friendship, and she doesn't know how to pronounce her middle name.
No, you have 6 middle names. Tell them your full name.
Tell them pronounce the government one, the one that's on my C. Just one.
Audimal.
Not even
Audimal.
How do you spell it?
O.
First 3 letters.
O-D.
Wrong.
A.
Wrong. Guess again.
No, it is O. Yes, it is. I know.
It is.
I know.
Oh, yeah. The second letter is wrong.
Oh, the second. Okay.
I was like,
O-T.
O-T. What?
O-D. O-D.
You tried that.
Oh, I already tried D. O-M.
What?
I'm down. That
Is
was
this
down.
real?
That was her fault. I'm sorry. I don't know. My middle name's Anne, and that's the capacity of middle names that I have. She does have, how many middle names do you actually have? Tell me.
1.
No.
I have like 7. Next question.
Just really quickly.
Oye Damola. Oye Damola.
See, how am I supposed to know that?
O-Y-E. That's.
I know how to spell her last name.
My last name is
O-Y-E-N.
O-Y-E-N. Correct. And my middle name is the same first 3 letters. O-Y-E. I expected that part.
Also, her name is not just Tunde, it is Yay Tunde, because everybody is Yay Tunde all the time.
Do you want to tell them why I don't go by that anymore?
No, I actually don't know why you didn't go by that. I really don't. I'm feeling very pressured right now. Oh, somebody's
That's
here.
the Amazon Prime.
They are coming to save me from this chaos.
So my full name is Yay Tunde. I stopped going. I cut the Yay off because when I was in kindergarten.
Yeah.
When I was in kindergarten, we were doing some type of competition outside, and everybody was like,
Uh-huh.
"Yay Tunde! Yay Tunde!" And so that's actually a really great thing. But as a kid, you don't like anything that makes you stand out. And so I came home from school and told my mom. And then I was like, the next day I went in and I was like, everybody, I'm just Tunde.
People used to call me Kimbo.
That's cute. I still call you
No.
Kimbo. Okay, next one.
We didn't answer Mary Beth's, did we? No, I called
Kentucky.
you Tunde. We got distracted.
Kentucky. We didn't even hear the question. Sorry,
Okay.
Mary Beth.
Mary Beth, this question is directed to Yay Tunde, Ayo Little Mala Oyeneyin. If you were having a bad day, wait, can you just really quick before we move on?
Oh, she did. You did
all
ask.
the names. Tell them all the names really quick.
I don't even remember
really
them.
pretty.
I'll tell them. I don't remember.
You don't even remember.
I didn't say that I remembered my name.
Her middle names, and she's mad at me for
Jumake
not
is one of them. Oye Damala.
Oh, I love that. So pretty.
Jumake. Ade.
And I'm Anne.
Marky. Okay, I almost went by Marky for a little bit. I almost changed my name to Marky in 5th grade.
You would have been a real
I've been a
cute
hot
Marky. You would have.
I'd have been a hot Marky.
I love
I know,
that.
especially with the head wrapper on the earring.
I might start that. Oh my
Marky.
gosh! You know how Beyonce has the stage
Sasha,
name?
uh-huh.
Sasha. What's it? Is Sasha
Sasha
something?
Fierce?
Sasha.
Uh-huh.
Sasha Fierce. You should be Marky. Something.
Mark.
Okay. All right. If you're having a bad day, Tunde, what is the one thing, Marky? What is the one thing you do to tell yourself to turn things around?
Oh, you did say that out loud. Well, first part of the answer, sometimes I just allow myself to have the bad day. Because as my life coach would say, I'm such a coach, a motivator that I will coach you out of anything. And I do that with myself sometimes when I just need to let myself be pissed off, be upset, be in my feelings. Now, I will tell this one, and she's like, all right, feel your feelings. It gives me about 24 hours to be sad about it, and then it's done. Like, feel it, and then let it go. And then once I get to the process or the point of letting it go, I tell myself that I don't get to choose what comes, but I do get to choose how I react to it. Every day's a new day, so I choose to show up new in that day. Feel it, let it go, and then you are the gatekeeper to your own peace. You can dwell in it. Or you can be responsible of the energy that you allow in your orbit, in your space.
I've kind of figured out the older that I get, if I just push the feeling away and I don't move through the feeling and then get to the other side of the feeling and then decide I'm past the feeling and I'm moving on, then it's still there and it hasn't been processed. And then those feelings just
and then everybody on the other end of those toppling feelings once the explosion happens. They don't understand.
My husband knows nothing
They don't
about
understand where the explosion's coming, because this is like layer on layer on layer.
Right.
Whereas when you just feel it, you feel it, and then you're clean from it. You're not carrying all these bags that you then throw off on somebody.
Also, I mean, just to bring it back to fitness, I feel like you always, like, you feel good. Like, I hate working out, but you feel really, really good when you work out. You do, and eat healthy.
I feel great when I work out.
She went wild last night.
You want to call me out in front of my friends.
And celebrated, and I was having an old fashioned and like fried cheese.
So last night, yes, the book came out yesterday.
She had 3 salads.
The book came out yesterday. We were in DC after the beautiful event. We went to a restaurant. We ordered everything on the menu. We had French fries, and then we had truffle tater tots, and then we had some type of quinoa fried situation. We ordered all these things, and they had 3 salads on the menu. No, they had 2 salads on the menu, so I ordered both of them for the table to share. They didn't eat any of it, so I ate both of them, and then one of them was so good. I looked at the gentleman, and I said, I will do that one again. It was delicious. I love salads. I actually love them.
I was really trying to force her to have like a glass of champagne or something. She said, no, I want to be clear. I want to be focused for all these amazing moments. So then she said, I am going to celebrate with some calories. And she did order the chocolate brownie with the ice cream.
Absolutely. Yes, I had the chocolate brownie.
So, she is human.
Yes, I mean, I like to enjoy a beverage, but I also know that this is a 3 weeks, very important 3 weeks of my life, and I want to go into it clear and clean. She's very upset she was like, please have champagne. I said, no, she's upset.
I had her champagne for her, don't you?
You know, when your friend doesn't want to have a glass of wine with you and you kind of get upset, she's very upset about it.
No, I was not that upset.
She was upset.
No, I stopped with the pressuring a long time ago because I know that you're going to have a better day.
I will be better.
If you are not hungover. Okay. Like anybody would. Okay, so Dylan.
Hey,
Temecula.
Hey, California.
Tunde lived in California for a lot of years.
I sure did, 12 years.
For half of it.
I did.
On days.
You look great. This is your light. I'm looking at you. You look really great.
Well, thanks. We've been on a train
really
all day.
Well, I'm looking at you and I'm looking at and I'm looking at you and looking at me. You look great.
Can you literally even look at this person and think that she might have a moment of looking at herself and thinking that anybody looks any better than her ever?
Well, thank you very much. I think I look great, but I'm looking at you. I'm like, wow, she looks really great.
I love you so much. This is why we've been friends for so long, because she's like always been my hype person. And
I felt cute, and then I felt cute, and then you
person.
slid into the camera. I was like, oh,
I'm trying to step back so it can be about you.
Every time you step back, I'm like, thank God, she's looking too good.
You are wearing, I think. Oh no, you got one too. I thought you were wearing my dress on your head, but you have one of what I have.
I need to do an Instagram video. I keep talking about it because everybody's like, how do you make these things?
It's so glamorous.
And then I will take it off and wear it as a dress tomorrow because it is a dress.
I could never pull that off. Okay, these people are trying to like talk.
Get their books. Get their books. All right, hard copy, sign books. If you want a signed copy, click the link premiercollectibles.com/Tunde for your hard copy. Let's keep signing. Okay, next question.
Dylan.
We have not even made a dent in these questions.
Nothing. Dylan,
all right, Dylan.
Temecula. On days where you doubt yourself or are overwhelmed, how do you find the motivation to push through? On days where you doubt yourself or you're overwhelmed, how do you find the motivation to push through? And I said it twice.
Just do it.
Tunde would have.
Just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
Like Nike.
Just no, like not a shameless plug. Just do it. Do it anyways. Do it anyways. Like when you get to the other end of it, the reward is on the other side, like the satisfaction of doing it. That could literally.
Wait, hold on. I don't think they're talking about fitness. On days when you doubt yourself or are overwhelmed, how do you find the motivation to push through? Maybe I wasn't
looking at it as fitness.
Oh, sorry.
It could be anything. I mean, sometimes it's the to-do list that you have on the day. Like, put it this way: sometimes it's emptying the dishwasher. You know what I'm saying? You can put one song on, and you like walk past the dishwasher, like I don't know, all day long. Then the next day, and then you're sitting there doing something that you're doing, and you're thinking about the fact that you haven't put these dishes up. And then, so now this thing has plagued you for some 24, 48 hours. It's an act that takes 3 minutes to do. You put a song on, by the time you finish the song, the dishwasher's empty. So that was a wild example, but just do it, push through it anyways. On the other end of it, that's where the reward sits. I think about my job. In the book, I talk about being in this position where I hated my dream job, my first passion, makeup. And it's not that I no longer enjoyed doing makeup, because ironically, one of the memories that I remember and treasure the most with my mother was her sitting me down to show me how to do my makeup. I was outside playing with my brothers. And then one day she looked at me and she said, "Gail, it's time." Sat me down. It was my Mufasa Lion King voice. "It's time." Sat me down and said, "It's time for you to start doing makeup." And when she passed, I did her makeup for this service. And so it was one of my first memories with her, and then my last. And so it wasn't makeup that no longer served me. It was I came into that world to be able to gift people with confidence, and I wasn't able to do it in the same way. I was more working on the corporate side of it. And so the joy of it was gone. I had this blue light vision, which I'm sure many of you have heard the story before, but it was like this divine download where I knew that I was destined to do this, to lead on a bike. And
you lead in life, baby.
Yeah. That's why I asked my best friend to.
I'm also her biggest fan. I'm gonna cry. I hate this. I don't know why you put me on these things. She called me out last night in front of like 500 people, and I'm just sitting there like blubbering, and I was just like, oh my God. Anyway, blue light moment. It's about you. Go.
And I was in a space where I could have remained sedentary. I could have just remained comfortable. Job paid well, was living comfortably, didn't have to learn a new trade, was doing it, could have done the job with my eyes closed. But I decided to just do it, move out of the dread that I was in every day. I decided to just move out of the dread that I was in every day and chase this wild idea, this wild vision, this thing that I could have very easily said I was just daydreaming and saw, myself living this other life. But instead, I decided to do it, to chase it. So yeah, just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. Also, I feel like we have, you and your whole team, who some of us are here right now, have been overwhelmed with just the amount of attention that everything is taking right now. And I feel like what I've seen you do that you do really well is, because they were talking about being overwhelmed, is that you do one thing and you're in that thing that you're in, right?
Yes.
And then that's done. And then I'm going to move over, because I'm like, while she's doing something, I'm like, also, what about it? And she's like, I'm going to finish this one thing that I'm doing right now. And there could be a list of these things. But when you do that one thing, you're in that one thing. And then when you're done with that one thing, you move on to the next thing. That's what she's really good at doing.
Yeah, I think that, at the end of the day, it's like, are you living in life to work? Are you working to live? Like, I think that we as in like people, we get so caught up in chasing the goal that we forget to enjoy the journey. If the journey isn't good, then what does the goal even mean? The goal, it's 1 second. We've been working for 10 months on this project. We're here now. The goal's here. This part's only going to last 3 weeks. If we didn't enjoy the 10 months, if we didn't find good in that, what is 3 weeks? And so, yeah, you have to, for me, be present in that thing so that you can find joy in it, or else it's just all these to-dos and then the joy is sucked out of it. And then what was all the work for?
And we're always like, it'll get done.
It'll get done.
It's going to get done.
It'll get done.
It might not get done the way you want it to get done, on the time you want it to get done. It's going to get done. It's gonna get done. Don't you worry about it. Okay, Wendy from Springfield, Missouri.
I forgot everybody was here. I forgot. Did you see my face? Oh, Wendy. Hey, Wendy.
Springfield, Missouri.
I forgot. Did you remember people
Yes,
here?
I remembered. I'm looking at. I'm here. I'm seeing them all.
I
Okay.
think that in my head we were just recording something. I forgot. Sorry, I'm back.
See, she's so in the moment. Did you see that? Wendy from Springfield, Missouri. You guys know I lived in Branson, Missouri for a while, which is right next to Springfield.
It's in the book.
Oh, it is in the book. There's a lot of things in the book that
You didn't approve?
I should have approved. I just said,
No,
book was
literally.
great, loved it. You're amazing.
She
You're a
made me
star,
take
can't
one
wait.
line out.
Yeah, where my whole life. Should we just tell them? My whole
I think
life.
we can tell. Nobody record this.
No, I'm going to tell them it's probably not true. My whole life, I was told by my mother that I beat Beyonce in a beauty pageant. First of all, beauty pageants, let's just not even go
I've
there.
seen video of it. She competed in a
I
pageant that
competed
Beyonce
in
was
a
in.
pageant with
Her-
her.
to
My
this
mother
day,
told me that I
Won.
won the pageant, which I did win the pageant.
And Beyonce was in it.
And Beyonce was in it. So she's like, essentially, you beat Beyonce
So,
in a pageant. But there was like talent and, like photograph.
I need y'all to know I went all through
Categories.
high
Those
school with this
categories.
girl was telling people that she was in a contest with Beyonce.
I
and she
never
won.
told anybody
Then
that.
how did I
My
find
mother-
out?
My mother told you. My mother told you. I didn't tell
So
people.
anyway, so I told in the book I talk about
And I
my
was like-
friend who would like you to know.
No,
Everybody knows.
I did not.
Who would like you to know that she once beat Beyonce in a concert. She was like,
I said, I don't know.
but
if
she
that's-
didn't know if that was for sure. And then
I
she
said,
didn't want the
I don't think
Beehive.
you should, yeah.
She wanted the
put
Beehive
that
to come
in the
after
book.
her. Because
I said,
I'm the ringleader of the Beehive. Let that be
I
known.
know, and I'm like a giant Beyonce fan. I was like, I don't believe that happened. Even if
And
I
if
was
I did
sick.
hear, she can have it back. Beyonce. if
Yeah,
I won.
even if I was sick, she deserved it, and I should not. have.
Judges were wrong.
So then I called my mom and I said, Tunde's writing this book, right? And I'm in the book a lot, and she talks about me beating Beyonce in a pageant. I said, Mom.
So did your mom?
I said, she goes, well, she was.
Stop.
Listen, she said, well, she was in the pageant we were in. But I don't, I think she won the talent category and you won the modeling portion today. And I was like, Mom, I said, you have been telling people. I said, Mom, you have been telling people for years that I beat Beyonce.
And only because it was
and
in a
she
book.
actually, I think, beat me out of the category she was in. Anyway, I'm loser.
Wait, your mama likes all those people.
Loser. Anyway, Wendy, Springfield, Missouri. Thank you for being so inspiring. How do you stay motivated? By not hanging out with people that lie about being Beyonce.
How do I stay motivated? Oh my gosh. Well, I will say I'm surrounded by so many strong women. One of them. Many of them. I'm surrounded by so many strong women, which that motivates the hell out of me. I love to fill my circle with women that I look up to because that keeps my hustle alive. You know what they say? How do they say? You don't ever want to be the strongest one or the strongest. You don't ever want to be the smartest one in the group. So I love surrounding myself with people that are good at things that I'm not good at. Number one, because that's a support system. Like, you're good at this, you do that part. I'm good at this, I'll do that part. But also, it requires you to level up, and you're learning because you're watching them do something that you may not be the best at. So I think that answers the question. Yeah.
I so too.
Mm-hmm.
I so too.
Who was that question from again?
That was from Wendy, Springfield,
Wendy,
Missouri.
that's right. Wendy in Missouri.
And just
Wait, how come you have a connection to every city or are these questions fake?
guess who's next?
Texas.
Brooklyn.
Oh, hey.
Come over. Come over. We're in New York too.
Hey.
Okay, so let's see. Oh, and I was just going to touch on the Wendy thing for how do you stay motivated and so inspired and your circle, and the whole thing is, and I think for everybody, and something that Tunde has really taught me is not everybody has to have access to you. And if they do drain you and they do, and do have negativity, just stay
Not
positive.
everybody has to have access to you. And I do want to highlight, if you're just jumping on, I am signing books. My new book, Speak, Find Your Voice, Trust Your Gut, and Get From Where You Are to Where You Want to Be. Now, I will continue signing because they're like, if Tunde doesn't hurry up and start signing faster so I can
I
will
have staff.
continue signing after this live ends Go to premiercollectibles.com/Tunde. If you are registered, I promise we're going to be sipping. I was going to say some champagne, but we already know that I just said I wasn't. I'm sipping decaf coffee.
I will be sipping champagne for us
while I continue to sign the rest of the
and
books.
Celebrating such an incredible event last night in DC, and we've got a whole tour kicking off. We can't wait to see.
I was going to say, who else is here? Who's here? Who's coming to New York?
Well, we got Kerwin.
Kerwin, are you coming tomorrow?
Kerwin, Brooklyn, New York. Firstly, I am a new writer. Thank you so much for your motivation. My questions, they have questions. Let's go. Are how do you deal with failure when you trusted your gut? I love that question. I love that. Secondly,
can I answer the first one first?
I see how she likes to just do one thing at a time. I think I should say it because maybe they're intertwined. Okay. Secondly, did it make you second think your next gut idea? Oh, she got 3 parts. And lastly, what advice do you, we'll go back to that. But how do you deal with failure when you trusted your gut? How do you deal with failure when you trusted your gut? Did it make you second guess your gut the next time you tried to trust it?
What's the third one?
What advice do you have for me to take the plunge to fight the gut fear that's holding me back? She's all about the gut. I love
such a great
It really is. It really is.
How do I pronounce your name?
Kerwin. I don't know if it's a male or a female.
Kerwin, that's such a great question. First part of the question. Well, I don't believe in failure. I think that failure is something that we tell ourselves so that we can stop trying. I'm going to say it again. I don't necessarily believe in failure. Rather, okay, let's say you believe in failure. Imagine for a moment that failure isn't real. If failure is not real, then you would continue to attempt something over and over and over again until you finally got it, until it finally worked. So if you imagine for a second that failure isn't real, then you keep trying. In terms of how do you trust your gut, I believe that everything's happening for me and nothing is happening to me. I believe everything's happening for me and nothing's happening to me. And if everything is happening for me, then nothing can be going wrong, because even when it's going wrong, it's really going right because it's happening in my favor in the end. I think that, when you look back at life and you look at all the little breadcrumbs, you start to see how all the points connect. This thing didn't work out because it wasn't ready. This thing didn't work out at that point because it wasn't supposed to, because I wouldn't have been at this point. I needed that fail, and I'm saying in quotes, I needed that point where I didn't succeed, because in not succeeding, because I didn't succeed that time, it led me to this moment. I didn't get the job at Peloton the first time around. Wasn't supposed to get the job the first time around. Didn't understand that then. In hindsight, I look back at my breadcrumbs, I connect the dots, and I say, thank God.
Tell them why you believe in the end, why it was probably best that you didn't get it in that moment.
I think that I don't know that I'd be here in this moment right now without the time in between. There was so much shift internally in the 8 months between me starting that I think that shift was aligned in my favor. Me joining the platform when I did was divine timing that happened in my favor. People ask me, what did you do different between the two auditions? Quite frankly, my first audition was better. I'll repeat, quite frankly, my first audition was better. I will say that the first time I went into the audition, I went in knowing that the job was mine. The only thing, if anything, that I did differently the second time, when I went in the second time, I said, Tunde, the first time you did this, you knew that the job was yours. You forgot to tell them. So the second time when I went in, I went in knowing that it was my job. And I said, oh, and by the way, I told them too. I told them, meaning the energy that I walked in was, this is mine. So yeah, I think we all have moments like that. What is a moment in your life where you're like,
Oh no,
You
this
have
is
to
not about me. But listen,
This is my show. I'm the host. I'm the host.
I'm the moderator.
What's a
I'm
moment
moderator.
in your life where you look back and you're like, that's something that I wanted so bad, and I was so hurt, confused. There was so much doubt because it didn't go my way. And I look back now and I understand, I see why the plan was laid out that way.
So I used to be, I'm going to say used to be because I really love my job now. I used to be on air talent for a very long time, like 35 years. And and I took a few years off. I started a family, I had a baby. Whenever I got back from that, one of the first auditions that I did was for this television show. And I went in for the job of the host and I nailed it. And I was like, this is so my job. And if I don't get this job, I'm going to die. And I did not get the job. And I was so sad. And I was
a shoo-in for the job.
And I thought, I was like, I got this job. I just crushed this. This makes so much sense. I see it. I'm going to get this job. And then crazy story. It all works out for you in the end. The executive producer that got hired after that, this is only a few years ago, the executive that got put on to that job happened to be the first person in the entertainment industry that ever gave me a job as a television host. And I was a television host for like 20 years. Like that was a very successful time in my life for those 20 years. And in 2000, I was a singer my whole life. And so in 2003, he said, you need to be a television host. And I was like, I'm a singer. And he was like, no, we're going to pay you to talk. And I was like, great, sign me up. He happened to be 20 years later. I hadn't talked to him in 15 years. 20 years later, this was the guy that happened to be signed on as the executive producer of the show that I did not get. He was going to review tape of the hosts that were chosen. And he saw my tape and he said, oh my gosh, that's Kim Caldwell at the time. That's Kim Caldwell. And then he goes, wait, why didn't you hire her? And they were just like, you know, she just talks a lot. She's really loud. And
they didn't lie, baby.
She's really loud. And
I wouldn't call her the pro, but they were lying.
And we don't know if she's going to be able to co-host with somebody because she's just a lot. And
you never told me this part.
Yeah, co-host with somebody because she's a lot. And they said,
why did they just look at your reel?
We're looking for executive.
Now I'm upset. Now I'm pissed off. Now you didn't tell me that part.
We're looking for correspondent positions. I'm bringing you in. You got the job. So I got a different position that was not in a studio every day with me reading a teleprompter. That's not me. It actually put me out into the field. And then I started producing and booking and growing and editing and doing all my own pieces and segments.
Which technology was not your forte then.
No, but it wasn't even about really technology. It was about the production side of things and the producing and the organizing of a show and of things. Guess what that prepared me for? The job that I'm in today. So as her manager. And so it's a little, if I would have gotten that job, I would not have gained the skills that I needed to be able to be prepared to be your manager when that opportunity arose.
Can I follow up with the second part?
Yeah. Oh no, this is about you. All of your publishers are like, we do not want to hear Kim talk.
No, the second part of but
this is why she needs her own talk show, y'all.
So you go for this, you're in this feeling where you feel so defeated because you didn't get the job. Mm-hmm. Then now you're able to look back and look at all the breadcrumbs and see how everything connected. Mm-hmm. To circle back to wrap the third part of the question in a bow. Mm-hmm. What lesson do you take from that you now apply when you find yourself in moments of doubt?
I think you do the same thing because I feel like as friends, we support each other in those really hard times. And I feel like in moments where things don't work out the way that we want them to work out and we need them to work out, we just trust. Mm-hmm. So now when things don't work out and I'm like, hey, listen, like, I know we wanted it to go this way. Well, it's just not going that way, you know, and it's not going that way because it's not supposed to go that way. Mm-hmm. And Tunde has been the best teacher for me to really accept that and just to be in the moment when things don't go the way that I need them to go. And I think you do the same thing at this point. It's frustrating right at the beginning, and then Tunde is the first person to go, well, wasn't supposed to happen.
Wasn't supposed to happen.
She literally, I mean, it doesn't even matter like the caliber of it. Well, wasn't supposed to happen. Wasn't supposed to end that way. Okay, that was Kerwin. Anne from Elmhurst, Illinois.
Hey, Illinois.
Hey, Anne.
Hey,
I heard
Anne.
you did not get the job at Peloton after your first interview. Everybody's dreading this. Interview and audition. What are the auditions like? Oh, that's a good question.
What are the auditions like? Well, I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but
yourself for the next time around.
I would say this: the auditions. It is a very lengthy auditioning process. Everyone has to agree. The decision has to be unanimous. And so I didn't get the job the first time around because the decision was not unanimous. As you guys know, Cody scouted me. Cody was my fairy godmother. He and Robin really wanted me to get that spot. I did not. And then when there was some shift, he said, what about that girl Tunde? There's still not been, because the position was open for 2.5 years, because Cody felt like nobody's come in here and done a better job than that girl. So why would we fill it with anyone else? And so when shift happened, he called me back and it worked.
It was a long process.
It was a very, very, very long interview. It requires a lot. William Lynch, the former president, said, finding a Peloton instructor, he likened it to scouting a backup dancer for Michael Jackson. You're requiring so much of the person. Not only do I need you to have the physical stamina that it takes, but I also need you to have the on-camera presence. So you could hire somebody who's an Olympic athlete, but then they may not have the on-camera skill. And then you could hire the weather woman, but that person might not have the stamina. And then it really requires somebody who is able to then take the energy of being the star and then sit them at a round table. Somebody who is able to not always have the spotlight on them when you go to work and you are the spotlight, and then you go and sit in a round table room and then you sit back and have everyone weigh in. So it requires a lot. And so I am surrounded by really exceptional people on my team.
And so funny that you wrapped it up with that, because it says, and I'm so glad Peloton saw your amazing skills and personality and added you to their awesome Peloton instructor family.
Me too.
All right. So Christina, yes, let's keep signing the books.
Again, if you want a signed copy, go to careercollectibles.com/Tunde. And I know that we are being very lengthy with these responses, and I just turned the camera over and I was the Oprah Winfrey Flora moment with Kim. But
she will have her own talk show one day.
But if you go to the link, I'll still be signing books all night long, even when the live ends.
Okay. What has kept you motivated all these years? I know you talked about having, good, strong people around you.
Strong people around me, really. Strong people around me. My mother, I have her in my thoughts. I feel her presence now even stronger in spirit than I did in human form. And so, yeah.
Tunde talks about a lot of loss in the book. And tragedy. And, I think one of the things that you say that's so powerful that really makes people start to look with a little bit more color in their eyes, in their vision, is when you say, oh gosh, I'm going to start crying. I hate it. When you say that they lost their lives, they can't live. And so you live your life.
Because they cannot.
And I always tell her angels are watching her. And so I feel like your angels are a big motivation.
Oh, baby. My dad is up there hustling. He's up there like, I will do extra dishes this week. Please grant this for this girl. Fun fact. So a year ago, I had on my Instagram, in my profile, I had, Tunde Oyeneyin, maybe Optimum Athlete, Revlon, something like that. And it said future author. And this woman named Meredith, how do you say Brene's last name? Villarello. This woman named Meredith Villarello found Kim's information, said, hey, I noticed that Tunde had future author on her bio. Want to offer y'all some pointers. She offered us some pointers.
We're like, okay, what do we do?
Had this conversation. She told us we need a whole bunch of shit, y'all. She was like, you need
We
this,
know
and you need
anything.
this. And we were playing it cool. We're like, oh yeah, sure. Oh, yeah, not a problem. We got this.
Right
Oh,
now.
you need this. Oh yeah, sure. We're working on that right now. We don't know anything. We don't know anything.
And she was like, you have to do all
this to pitch
stuff.
the book.
And we were like, oh my God.
Oh, you know what? I will not be writing a book. No, we actually said we want to write a coffee table book.
Yeah, we were doing a quote book.
We were doing a quote book. That was a
Tunde,
coffee table book.
Tunde-isms. And all of her like beautiful photos with quotes on them. That's kind of the vision that we saw. What we found out is that you have to actually be a successful author to do a quote book that anybody cares about. So we were like, all right,
okay.
that.
So no, honestly, that was my scapegoat. This is an insider.
You said
I didn't think that I was ready.
She said, my story's not. You said my story's not.
I didn't finish my story yet.
And I said you don't have to.
You don't have to finish it. You did say that.
She's had a wild story. Y'all are.
But when you're living your own
like,
life,
oh.
you don't. It's not till you start saying your story out loud that you realize that your story hits differently for people. I lived this story for the last 36 years, and so to me, I'm just.
She can talk about it.
Yeah. So when people when I see it move through people, I say, oh. And so that was me holding myself hostage. That was me allowing fear to steer. I said, I don't really have a story to tell you yet. And it wasn't until she called my lie that I faced my lie and said, okay, well, I got to stop making up this excuse. So anyways, this woman gives us this point. We said, okay, great. So about how long passes?
A year.
A year passes.
Right?
A year passes. And so my agent, who's probably on here, Kari, if she's not already in bed with those kids, Kari reaches out. So she says, okay, we're going to start talking about book. Let's go shop publishers. So we have all these meetings set up. And one of the names Kim's like, I remember this name. Kim searches her emails and says, this is the lady who gave us advice. And she's here. I'm going to make you get on camera. Come here. Her name is Meredith Villarella. I say it wrong every time. This is Meredith. God bless Meredith. You look good too. Everybody get off the camera. Y'all look good.
I love this light.
This is the light. So Meredith, I'll let you tell the rest of the story. So you come back the second time around.
Yeah. I'll just leave. So I don't know. I just shared how amazing you are and your story with our team. Oh my gosh, hi everybody. Welcome here, Collectibles.
This is really a talk show now. Other guests
You're inviting guests
on.
And I just shared, how passionate I was about you and how I thought that you had a book in you and that people's lives would be changed by your story. And everybody agreed with me and we worked it out and we're here. And I can't believe this.
Oh,
it's been
you never told me that part. I didn't know you had to hustle people into this idea.
She's like, Juliana was not a Peloton person. Right. Ben was a Peloton person, but Juliana wasn't.
Did Ben take my classes beforehand?
Oh yeah. He got a Peloton at the beginning of the pandemic.
Wow.
And I was like, you gotta do Tunde. You have to. She's freaking hard, but you gotta do her. But it's not just about the rides, obviously. It's about your words and your stories. And I just knew that people had gotten glimpses of who you are. And I knew that they would want more. I just knew it. Like I've been working in books a long time and I just was like, there's definitely more to her that she can't do in the middle of like, give me 70 cadence, 110 resistance, whatever impossible stuff, but I wanted to hear more. It was, I think the 2-for-1 ride with Alex, there was some emotional slow song and you started talking about your parents. And I thought a lot of people are going to, be listening to this and wanting to hear more. And, when we got the book, we were just really blown away by how much more there was. And I'm so happy that Kari came back to us and that you guys recognized that my name was there and that, we don't have a lot of, processes like this where we're there from the very beginning. And it's like just so much more special.
You were there before the beginning.
I know before the beginning. You guys were so collected on that call. I had no idea that you didn't know.
We're so professionals. What is that?
I was Googling what we were
saying. You guys, you have to pay all this money just to show people your idea. And we were just like, okay, well, yeah, give us like a year.
So I think that they're asking.
I think they're kicking us out.
But I'd love
Okay,
to,
great.
instead of going to the rapid fires, I'd love to just say it and then you give like quick answers.
Okay,
yeah.
And we get to everybody,
Okay,
because
so
there's only a few questions.
Again, if you still want a book from MiraCollectibles.com, you purchase the book.
Yeah.
I will ship. Well, not me. Somebody else
She's
who's
not doing
way better at organization than me is going to
Adele.
ship the books to you. And thank you. Okay, so rapid fire questions.
Really quick, how much alcohol do you drink? I swear that's the question. From Anne
Right
Marie,
now, none.
nothing.
But I do drink. I probably, let me say, like I drink like a little Saturdays, Sundays, and then maybe a couple times a week. No, I would say like maybe 2-3 nights, 2 nights a week.
What's your drink? What do you
Great
like?
question. I drink tequila on the rocks. Tequila on the rocks.
Ooh.
And if I'm really feeling myself, I'll have a glass of champagne.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you do at some point during this book because like
Everybody's forcing me.
She's
I might have a drink
earned it.
tomorrow. I might have a
She's
drink
earned
tomorrow.
it.
All right, this
Yeah.
internal resistance. She has not been able to clip in lately. What's the best advice to overcome? I already know what you're gonna say. Just do
internal
it.
resistance is the name?
Yeah, no. I'm saying Deidre.
Uh-huh.
She has really been hard. It
Oh,
seems like she cannot
give yourself
get her body
attainable
to
goals.
follow her thoughts and
Give
clip in.
yourself attainable goals. If you are setting yourself up to do a 45-minute class, that sounds daunting. Instead, tell yourself, I'm going to do a 5-minute warm-up. If the 5-minute warm-up feels good, maybe you take a 10-minute low impact. If the 10-minute low impact feels good, maybe you take a 5-minute cool down. Like, give yourself attainable. Most days I don't want to work out. I tell myself I'm just going to do a quick 5-minute stretch. And that 5-minute stretch leads to a 45-minute workout or not. Sometimes it's just a 5-minute stretch. But give yourselves bite-sized chews.
What is the most
This
challenging?
is how we should have been doing it before.
I know, Amanda, what is the most challenging part of being an instructor? Carlton, New York.
The most challenging part of doing being instructor. So you can do the workout too, and sometimes it was not what your body needed for the day. And so it's easy to say, listen to your body. But if I'm 45-minute hit and heels was what was planned for the day, and my body's saying it wants low impact, I'm still showing up into the 45-minute hit and heels. And then also you are humans too, and sometimes you have a down day. But on the flip side of that, I will say when I'm having a bad day, when that right light comes on and I feel the energy of everyone in motion with me, that anything that was plaguing my mind and my thoughts and weighing me down, it's gone. And so I thank you guys for that.
Bobby from Michigan. What makes you laugh the most?
My country accent came in on that last one. Thank you guys for that.
Mm-hmm.
What makes me laugh the most? Cody Rigsby.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, that's it. That's the answer. Okay. Speed round.
Yeah.
Who's going to be one of your co-hosts in New York? One of the moderators in New York?
Mel Robbins, Cody Rigsby, and Robin Arson.
Adam from Missouri. In quarantine, I saw social minority groups shine. Cultures systematically excluded from participating in activities, excelled in isolation. What are the biggest lessons we should learn about inclusion from computer-based training connected? I don't know what all this means.
Healthy fitness supplements. Here's what I'll say. So I know this is rapid fire. I mean, it sounds so cliche, but representation matters. I think that it shows. I was able to be in that moment because I was there. Not to say that by any means I was the only one able to do that in that moment. But when you're in a room making decisions, I think it's necessary that you look around and there's someone who represents each group before you make a decision. I think it was Tina Fey, and she was talking about when they would create sketches on SNL, they were creating a joke. It was like a racial joke. And everyone was like, this is funny, this is funny. And she said, well, was this okay? Can we say this? And everyone's like, yeah, you can say this. And then she looked around and she was like, but the group that we're talking about is not in the room to say that we can say this or we can't say this. And so I heard that and it was just like, wow. There should always be.
Do you want to do a couple actual rapid fire?
Yeah, I was like, that is not a rapid fire.
I mean, they might just want us to get off.
This thing's gonna kick us off.
Is it gonna kick us off?
We got like 60 seconds. Look at the timer.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. What's your who would you want to play you in a movie? Because that's gonna happen.
Lupita Nyong'o would probably play me.
Done.
I would be so happy with that. Where am Campbell?
Done.
No. Oh, what's the girl from the Hat and the Have-Nots that everybody says I look? Tika Sumpter. Everybody says we look alike.
Yeah.
We really do look very alike.
What color is your toothbrush?
Well, I have a white electronic one, but I just took an emergency one for travel, and it was blue.
And it was blue.
I always choose blue. Sometimes I choose
What
pink.
is your pet's name?
Caesar. He's
Caesar.
my baby.
What is your favorite word? Speak.
Speak.
That's a good one.
All right. That's it.
That was a good one to end on. Oh, happy Speak Day, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. No pun intended. If you haven't already, grab Speak, find your voice, trust your gut, and get from where you are to where you want to be. Who is this book for? This book is for everyone and anyone. It's for whatever you're going through while you are going through it. If you already have a copy and you've ordered one now from Premier Collectibles to get your autographed copy, pass it to a friend. Pass it to a friend. I call this like the sisterhood of the traveling book. So pass it to a friend who's going through whatever they're going through while they're going through it. Thank you so much. Thank you to my co-hosts tonight, Kim and Meredith. Adele is also here manning the light and the camera. So we got to give it up to our camera girl. Thank you guys so much. I think we're going to have a quick video play. Thanks for joining. Bye.
Hey, this is John Acuff, New York Times best-selling author of 7 books and someone who's done a live signing. If you like the one you just watched, make sure you check out our YouTube channel. It's full of amazing authors having great conversations and signing books for viewers just like you. So make sure you subscribe, and thanks for watching.